On Thursday's broadcast of the Fox News Channel's The Story, White House National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications John Kirby responded to a question on whether President Joe Biden's speakerphone calls to his son Hunter were used by Hunter to show he had access to his father by stating, "There were no discussions about business with his son or his son's business partners." Host Martha McCallum asked, "Relevant exchange begins around 4:40. I know you saw Peter Doocy's question to the president yesterday." The president said, "I never talked business with anybody," but Devon Archer testified that the point of putting the speakerphone down at those meetings, which is what Peter was asking about, was just to demonstrate access, that Hunter had access to the then vice president and to sell the Biden brand. "So, what do you say about that, John? And when will the president actually answer some of these questions to put some of this to rest himself?" Kirby answered, "Oh, my goodness, Martha, he just did with Peter. He's the one who called Peter over. And, look, he knows Peter. He knows Peter's not going to ask some softball question about how his vacation was. He knows who Peter is. And he answered that question. And I don't know what it's going to take for." McCallum then cut in to say, "He didn't answer whether or not he was on speakerphone in those meetings, John. He just said, 'I never talked business with anybody.'" Kirby responded, "The question was about business and he answered it consistently with what he said so many times before. He's been very consistent that he wasn't talking business." McCallum then cut in to ask, "But the question is, was he allowing his presence on speakerphone to speak volumes? Was he allowing that presence to say, 'This is my son, he has access to me,' while he was talking to Ukrainian businessmen, Chinese businessmen, Russian businessmen, after the invasion of Crimea, as Katie Pavlich just pointed out?" Kirby answered, "I just don't know how many times he's going to have to say no to the same question. And he said it consistently, he's been consistent about this. There were no discussions about business with his son or his son's business partners. And again, he called Peter over, and I'm not saying he knew that that was the question, but he certainly knew it wasn't going to be a softball, and he answered it."